Albrecht Dürer was a German painter, printmaker, and theorist of the Renaissance period. He is known for his portraits, religious works, and prints, including the famous Melancholia I. Albrecht Dürer's self-portrait with fur-trimmed robe, painted in 1500, is not just a likeness, but a powerful artistic statement. Created on oil on lime panel, this work, housed in the Alte Pinakothek in Munich, is considered one of the most iconic and complex self-portraits of the Northern Renaissance. It marks a significant moment in the history of art, where the artist asserts his status and creative identity. Breaking from the common practice of three-quarter profiles in secular portraits, Dürer presents himself in a near-perfect frontal pose. This was highly unusual and historically reserved for depictions of religious figures, particularly Christ. This deliberate choice immediately elevates the portrait beyond a simple likeness, inviting deeper interpretations about the artist's self-perception and the nature of creation. The most arresting feature is Dürer's direct and intense gaze, which meets the viewer's eyes. This unflinching stare creates a profound sense of presence and psychological depth. The eyes are rendered with remarkable realism, capturing highlights and reflections, making them seem alive and engaged. This direct address was highly unusual and contributes significantly to the portrait's powerful impact. The face is rendered with striking symmetry, contributing to the portrait's iconic quality. While based on his own features, Dürer appears to have slightly idealized himself, particularly the nose, which underdrawings show was less regular in reality. This subtle idealization, combined with the frontal pose, strengthens the visual parallels drawn with depictions of Christ. A closer look reveals the meticulous detail in the rendering of the nose and surrounding skin. Dürer's ability to capture the subtle variations in tone and texture is evident here, showcasing his technical skill in oil painting. Despite the overall sense of idealism, these details ground the portrait in realism. The mouth is depicted with a subtle, perhaps slightly relaxed expression. The fine lines and modeling capture the form of the lips and the growth of the mustache around them. The lack of a strong emotion contributes to the overall sense of calm, dignity, and introspection in the portrait. The short beard and mustache are rendered with incredible attention to texture. Individual hairs are suggested through fine brushstrokes, creating a sense of softness and volume. This level of detail in depicting hair and fur is characteristic of Dürer's work and Northern Renaissance art. Dürer's long, flowing, curly hair is a prominent feature and a visual link to depictions of Christ. While his earlier portraits show reddish blonde hair, here it is painted a rich brown, further reinforcing the intended resemblance. The central parting is also a common feature in religious iconography. A closer inspection of the curls reveals Dürer's extraordinary skill in capturing form and texture. The way light plays on the individual strands, creating highlights and shadows, gives the hair a remarkable sense of life and movement, highlighting his technical virtuosity with the brush. The prominent fur collar is a symbol of wealth and status. Likely marten or sable, such fur was expensive and subject to sumptuary laws, worn primarily by the nobility. By depicting himself in this robe, Dürer asserts his position not merely as a craftsman, but as an esteemed artist deserving of high social standing. The rendering of the fur continues onto the shoulder, showing the variation in pile and color. The meticulous brushwork creates a convincing illusion of the soft, thick material. This detail further emphasizes the luxuriousness of the garment and Dürer's skill in depicting different textures. The brown fabric of the robe is painted with attention to its weight and folds. While less visually striking than the fur or hair, the depiction of the cloth adds to the overall realism and materiality of the portrait, showing the body beneath the garment. Just visible at the neck is a hint of the white undergarment beneath the heavy robe. This small detail adds a layer of realism and suggests the complexity of the clothing worn. It provides a contrast in texture and color to the dominant brown and fur. Dürer's right hand rests on the fur trim. The pose is somewhat unnatural and has been interpreted in various ways. As a gesture of blessing, connecting to the Christ-like appearance, as drawing attention to the fur, symbolizing his status, or even as a way to showcase his skillful, creative hand. The rendering of the hand is highly detailed, highlighting bones, tendons, and fingernails. The left hand is mostly obscured by the robe, with only a few fingers visible near the bottom right. Its less prominent position might serve to emphasize the right hand or simply reflect a natural way of holding the heavy garment. Even in this partially seen hand, Dürer's attention to anatomical detail is apparent. The year 1500 is inscribed in gold on the upper left. This date was highly significant, marking the turn of the century and the millennium, often seen as a moment of transition and new beginnings. Its prominent placement underscores the importance Dürer placed on this moment in his life and career. Below the date is Dürer's famous monogram, AD. This distinctive signature served as a mark of quality and authorship, which he fiercely protected. Placing it directly beneath 1500 also creates a visual pun, suggesting Anno Domini, in the year of our Lord, further linking the painting to religious themes and the significance of the year. The inscription in Latin on the right begins, Albertus Dureris Noricus, Albrecht Dürer of Nuremberg. Using Latin, the language of scholarship and humanism, Dürer aligns himself with intellectual pursuits rather than just manual craft, asserting his identity as a learned artist from the prominent city of Nuremberg. The inscription continues, Dif ipsum me proprii sic effingebam, bust depicted myself in characteristic colors. This phrase explicitly states the act of self-portraiture and emphasizes the use of propries coloribus, which can mean characteristic colors, referring to his technique or appearance, or everlasting colors, highlighting the permanence and quality of his oil paints. The final part of the inscription reads, Aetatis anno XXII, at the age of 28 years. Dürer was 28 when he painted this, nearing his 29th birthday, which fell in May 1500. According to medieval thought, age 28 marked a transition to maturity. By including his age, Dürer highlights this personal milestone, coinciding with the significant year 1500 and his artistic maturity. The painting is a masterpiece of the Northern Renaissance and a testament to Dürer's skill as a painter and printmaker. It is housed in the Alta Pinakothek in Munich and is considered one of the most iconic and complex self-portraits of the period.